Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Music and Beyond. You just finished listening to 956 by And the Hero Prevails out of San Benito, Texas. They have a lot of great music. Check them out on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere you can listen to music, and on Facebook as well. I'm Ernie Crazy Eyes from Music and Beyond, Recalled Productions, and Primitive Minds. I am now associated with Recall Productions, and I am here with the crew from Recalled Productions. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, man.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good fucking terrible.
Thank you for having us. I am Roy Gomez, part 1 of 3.
And I'm Joseph Soto, 2 of 3.
And I'm Humberto Moreno, 1 of 3.
It's very good with numbers.
It's 1 of 3. Pinches.
I'm not good at math.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you guys are here because, I've been hanging out with you guys these past few months before pandemic.
Yeah, we have.
You know what? I think it's been a year, hasn't it?
I've
been
never met
Maybe.
you in my life.
Sorry, guys. I don't know how you came here, so we're just going to make him part of the podcast.
I came hard.
He's a package deal.
He's a package deal. And the reason why this is funny is because they're comedians as well, too.
We do try comedy, and we're mediocre at best.
I'm a panhandler.
That's where he started.
I tell jokes for fun.
I do push-ups for money.
And cigarettes.
And cigarettes, there you go. But, first of all, how's the pandemic treating you guys?
We have a lot of downtime because places aren't open right now for comedians. It's been a quite an adjustment. Wouldn't you guys say?
Well, to be honest, though, further north you go, there's actually 1 or 2 clubs.
They're opening.
In an earshot that are open,
Yeah.
but even then, max capacity is like what? 20 viewers, 25
I
viewers?
love it. Fuck hanging out with you guys. I like spending time with myself. It's the
It's
best.
great,
Yeah. We could do more of that.
Hey, you didn't hang out with them for a while, and you just got...
Laid?
AIDS?
Tons of AIDS.
Thinking AIDS? I don't know.
Yeah.
Congratulations, though, bro.
I'm getting AIDS?
No,
Why?
getting married,
Dude,
that's...
I did.
He did get
Yeah,
married.
you did. Oh, man.
How's that going?
Oh, I finally lost my virginity.
At 39.
I bled so much.
Can y'all say congratulations to Fez? Nah.
All right, congratulations, Fez.
Doobie doobie doo.
To who?
I don't know. That's 70 American show.
Oh, what's his name?
Wubba Bumma Rama.
Anthony Michael Kiedis.
He played Batman.
But yeah, see, like, we're just here hanging out at the spot in Harlingen, Texas, 323 West Jackson Street.
Fucking tell him, bro.
At a secret location.
Yeah.
At an undisclosed.
Come see me, guys.
We broke in this place.
But first of all, how did you guys start? How did you guys start, hanging out together? And what inspired you guys to, become comedians?
Well, the mutual interest of comedy is what pretty much drove us all to be comedians. It did start out with Bert randomly inviting me one night to an open mic. I only knew Bert in passing. So we weren't buddies. We weren't, like hanging out or anything like that before we started doing comedy. But he went up that first week, and I saw how easy it looked. Because it looks really easy. But to write a joke that lands is not that easy. Like, it takes a lot of really, thinking. You have to be smart. You have to say something that's new. Because the one thing that'll blacklist any comedian is, trying to redo something that somebody else has done. It's a no-no, basically. We've all treaded waters where, similar ideas have come in, but we spin them and make them our own. So they're not necessarily copying anybody else. It's legitimate, experiences that we've had that we've been able to.
Fucking wish out there?
It is Halloween. Or a Spooktober.
Yeah, there you go.
Spooktober.
But yeah, man, we basically started going to open mics. I knew nobody in comedy I remember reaching out to several comedians locally, asking them like what would be the best way to approach comedy. And the people that I reached out to were Raymond Horta, Mario Salazar, Ray Lopez, and Sonia Trevino. Well, one of them was dead.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ray Lopez.
He was never going to message me back. I didn't know that. Sonia Trevino was the only one who probably wasn't she was barely rising as a comedian. Like she'd already had a good amount of years under her belt. You know, she was like funniest in the valley. By that point, she was already funniest in the valley. Yeah. And she was still approachable.
Yeah.
Like she would still talk to you. And that was perfect for me because she gave me the basic rundown of how to try it out. She's like, just go to an open mic and start from there. And that's the only advice you can give anybody when doing comedy, because everybody has to start, they have to find their own voice. So you can't really give advice past that. Maybe when they have like a joke and you're like, oh, I'll tighten it up here or whatever, and it might work better. But you can't, deprive them of their personality.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's what you're selling. You're selling yourself to somebody else, and you want them to think that you're funny.
Yeah, and like with Sonia, I saw her like 8 years ago, or whenever I saw her, because it's been a long time. And I hired her last year for my birthday, and
nice.
She brought Jesse Lopez too. Why, oh why? But everybody loves Sonia, and they're always asking me, hey, whenever you have a birthday party, like bring her back. We'll pay for her. Like,
yeah, dude. Sonia's a different, like she's very well shapen when it comes to comedy.
Yeah.
Like she's her own personality. What you're seeing is something that's totally organic and fresh and original, And that's the goal. Basically, we all want something similar. But, we've kind of gone from the original question.
Yeah.
When we started out, it was me and Bert.
Yeah, I'm Bert.
Yeah.
And I had never met Roy in my life.
Oh, shit.
And I was, his cousin is my best friend. So he's like, hey, my cousin wants to tag along. I'm like, fuck that guy. I have to pick him up? Alright, fuck him. So I came over, and of course, I knocked it out of the park the first time. And then everyone gave me... Actually, I went once to scope it out because I was nervous. I was like, oh, man. But then I saw how everyone just bombed. I'm like, I could suck just as much as these guys.
Yeah.
It made it seem easy. So then I went, and I really did okay. And then Roy saw how much I sucked. It's like, I could suck just as much as Bert can. And then he was like, oh, I used to bully this kid back in high school.
That's not how it happened. Actually, Joseph, one day, I posted maybe twice, I think, at the most. It was the first initial time where I was going to try and do it, but they ran out of time, so I didn't get to do it. And everybody was like, congratulations! And I'm like, I didn't do it. And I had 90 people like my post and stuff. I'm like, I didn't get to go up. But then I did the following week, and that's when Joseph hit me up after that. He asked me, like, hey, how do I get up there? Who do I have to talk to and stuff? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Just go and, try it out. It might be worth it. You might like what you're doing. It's different. But if you once you get that big laugh, you're hooked. It's just, all right, let's try and do this again and longer. And Joseph, when, so you hit me up.
I had asked, hey man, that sounds very, I didn't know it's very interesting. How could I do that? And basically, one thing led to another. After he gave me the roundabout. Like, I'm not gonna fucking help you, dude.
I never did that.
Find out your own fucking way, fatty.
No, actually, at the time, me and Joseph weren't very friendly. We had a little bit of a history before that.
They broke up.
We dated for a while.
I broke his heart.
He broke my heart. He
Cheated
bullied
on
me a
him
little
several
bit.
times.
Cheated on him. Bigger view.
It's just so easy. I don't know.
I don't have to try. They just put out. Most in mouth.
With no arms.
Oh, throwback to
Jesus.
episode 50.
Episode 50, yeah.
Callback, yeah. So basically, one day I asked him, hey dude, and at the time I was going through a really bad breakup. I was contemplating a lot of things, but that's beside the point. And he gives me this info, and one day, one night, my buddy Larry, shout out to Larry. Hey, buddy, how you doing? We go. They were there. I think there was Sonia was there that night. I think there was a few other big timers at the time.
That night, Sonia saw my ass.
Oh
shit.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was that was my real first time meeting Sonia.
I think that was the time I went home with you guys because Larry had to leave me or something.
Or something. Cause,
No, that was the second time.
Yeah.
We carpooled after that.
We did frequently.
I drove you.
Yeah.
I still have the first video of my first time
Me
going
too.
out. Yeah.
And it's
I also
terrible.
have it, yeah.
I don't like it.
You guys,
I think mine was funny.
you guys should totally post that as a throwback.
I hate mine, but
I was so skinny.
Same.
Actually, believe it or not, I was thinner. I was a little bit thinner. You know, I was about 260, and then I hit fucking
Yeah,
310.
we did cocaine and game on it.
as comedians do.
Yeah. Want to be a legend, don't
And
you?
it was a lot of fun, dude. Honestly, it's a lot of experience that I don't regret.
We've had a lot of pretty awesome opportunities, you know. Like the reason why we started collaborating as an actual podcast or anything was because of Jeff Ross.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
actually, that was,
He was coming down 1 month, and I had lunch with. I actually had owed Mario a favor, so I drove him around everywhere for a day.
Oh, nice.
And in between that, he got a phone call from Comedy Central. And he's like, dude, they're calling me. I need to take this. I'm probably going to go outside. So he goes outside, and he's like, they're calling me because they want to get Jeff Ross down here. And they're trying to find, like, some spots for him to go and perform at. And, you know, so he was doing he was organizing everything. Yeah, so we organized everything, and Jeff Ross's plan was to have a special down here recorded at the Brownsville border
Yeah.
for, what was it? It was, like immigrants, right?
Yeah,
It was like an immigrant special or something like that?
Yeah,
he was roasting the border. as a matter of fact, yeah.
Fucking liberal.
And it was actually, it was the first time, that same day was the first time we all got paid as an individual collaboration.
Yeah, this is true.
We had a buddy of ours who was like, yeah, I'll give you a couple bucks or whatever, and, ooh, thank you. Nice.
Fine,
I'll see ya.
We just got beer.
Nice. But yeah, a buddy of mine from Aisle 9 Collectibles in Brownsville was like, he knew that we were comedians, but we hadn't really had any actual professional experience working outside of the stage.
Yeah.
So we were really trying to push ourselves as professional, personalities. And he took a chance on us, and he gave us like $80.
Yeah.
So we recorded that entire day, and then after that, we immediately went to go see Jeff Ross do his border special. And I think that's basically where it started, because we kind of agreed together, let's just start something, let's work,
And I think at this point, I've already done a show or two with Mario.
Yeah, I think you had done several.
Yeah.
Because I think I had 2 under my belt, and I did all right. I was doing okay.
I'll never forget.
It was like the second year of all of us doing comedy.
My first year,
I stopped.
I opened up for Raymond on his
Oh,
Thanksgiving
snap.
show.
Same.
Yeah.
We got that pretty awesome opportunity.
And I know I did good because afterwards, somebody literally followed me to the restroom. And I go into the stall, and this guy offers me an 8.
Oh.
Hey, carnal, you want to hit a cocaine, carnal? You did really good.
That's actually quite an accomplishment, to get tipped. 'Cause
People give you alcohol.
it sometimes happens, and I think that's like you earned it. Like
And
somebody was impressed enough. To
It was
buy you something.
awkward, not gonna lie. And I was about to pull, my penis out, and I heard the door open because I forgot to latch it. And I hear, "Hey man, you want some cocaine? You did really good tonight, man. That was funny as fuck, cuz."
And then he looked up in the mirror.
And I was like, whoa, I was about to, But that was a compliment, honestly. In the industry world, that is a compliment, right?
Yeah.
When someone offers you instead of...
I've had somebody offer me coke also, and a blowjob.
That is
Wow.
true. Tell that story, by the way. That's very interesting.
Well, a guy offered me coke and a blowjob in the bathroom once. That's the story.
That's a great story.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I'm sorry, I was a little drunk.
Craigslist miscounters. How did you guys, Well, how long does it take for you guys to, write one bit?
Oh, well, I guess that depends.
Everyone has a different process.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I am very lazy, and so I just kind of make things up on the spot. And if it works, I work it, and I redo it, and then the third or fourth time, it fucking makes a hit.
Like, Twitter actually used to help me as a writing tool because they only gave you, 120 characters at first?
140?
Something like that.
Yeah, 140.
So when I would use Twitter, I would utilize it to try and write one entire joke with a cognitive beginning and then a punchline at the end. But that made sense and it was funny. And then they really let everybody get lazy and they're like, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah,
write whatever you want.
Trump did that.
Thanks, Trump.
Yeah.
Obama.
I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna write a fucking joke about anything.
Because of him, we have paragraphs now, and I thought it's good. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a piss break.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're gonna pause right
I don't. No, I keep it going.
Nah,
Yeah.
well, we'll keep going because
Bert never left.
Yeah, Bert never left.
You're
Whoa.
good at voices. Do me.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, it's me, Bert.
Hey Siri! Let's tell that story.
That's a funny
Yeah,
story.
go
That
for
is
it.
a great story.
While Bird returns, we're gonna have a story by Roy.
So one day, this might be very offensive to some people, but I guess we were writing together to a show at CNET, and
Which we were late for.
we got stuck in traffic. There was massive, construction.
Well, yeah, man, it's McAllen. What do you expect?
Yeah, there was construction, and then we didn't pull off in the right place, and we got stuck in traffic. So we're there waiting, and Joseph's like, "Man, I feel like listening to a song," and Bert's like, "Well, go ahead, just type something in or whatever." And Joseph's like, "I'm gonna try doing the whole Siri thing." He's like, "Hey Siri," and nothing's happening because Siri will only respond to the person that's programmed to respond to, which is Bert. So
Then Roy gives it a shot.
I'm like, "Yo, Joseph, you got to say it like Bert." So I did my best flamboyant impression, and I was like, "Hey Siri," and then Siri responded, "How can I help you?"
Oh
We busted laughing, honestly.
Dude, we were like, "That's what Siri thinks you sound like."
And it was the greatest road trip story ever.
And I tried it again and again. I just could never hit the right pitch, and it didn't work. It was like a one-time
Yeah,
thing.
it was a one-time thing.
It was great.
But look, man, to go back to what you were saying, the writing process, it's different for everybody. Roy has his way, Bert has his way, I have my way, which will go through different iterations, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I was studying a lot of English going to college, a lot of philosophy, which
Yeah, we talked about it.
We've talked about this
Yeah.
before. And I'll go through, there are many ways to write a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Any English teacher will tell you that there are multiple ways to use all these different words and ways to choreograph them in a dance, if you will, with language.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I try to find the best iteration of a joke that I know that I hate, but I know people will like.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
in our profession, words are best friend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
The more, the better vocabulary you have, there's a good chance you'll be able to, and that's not just talking proper vocabulary, but every term lingo that's out right now, you could add that somewhere and somebody will fucking think it's stupid funny. You know?
Yeah,
That's true.
see when I started coming here so many times before even getting a job here at the spot.
Yeah.
I never expected to go on stage and say jokes or anything because to me it's more of hey, look, I'm gonna make a weird face.
Okay.
And then I'm not gonna go up there and be like.
And you know what though? The more that you've done it, when we had the chance to do it, there was a little bit of progress.
Yeah.
I don't know if Joseph saw, but there's a weird structure people start out with, which is they'll have one joke that works.
God.
But then, whatever.
Look,
but
let's get it out of the way first. Hold that thought. Put a
Okay.
pin in it.
all right.
When people try it out for the first time, I don't know what gives them the right to automatically start telling shit stories.
That also does happen
And that's
a lot.
and that's an
yeah.
actual no pun intended. They start talking about their fecal stories, how their worst shit of all time.
Which maybe it's a funny story to your buddy at work
Yeah.
or something.
And see that's how I started because
But you had punchlines, which was
Yeah.
the difference. But you know what, though? When you started and you had those, I don't think you knew that that's what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't because
Yeah.
it like I tried it the following week and I totally missed all that.
Like, how many times, Ray, have we gone to open mics and someone starts, like, first open micer, first time, they start talking about their worst shit scenario.
Yes, oh man, that's like
How many
hand in hand.
times?
It's like hand in hand with wiping your ass or something. You know what I mean? Like, it literally is some people's go-to like shit stories. But see, when it comes to a shit story, there has to be a part apart from the shit
Yeah.
that's funny.
yeah.
So you'll have to, like, that's where the what is it? The rule of three comes in.
Rule of three, yeah.
You know, normal people don't know about this, but the rule of three is like you set it up 1, 2, and then on the third one, that's where the punchline comes in. You know, so it's a funny intro, maybe something in the middle that's semi also funny, but then the last one is where you really want to come and get them. It's kind of
Yeah.
like boxing, like the 1, 2, 3 punch.
And we've heard some whoppers, dude. We've heard some stories that are just ridiculous.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and see, that's what when I went up there, you know, I did my first time with the girl, and then my dad stories. So you know, like I don't know which one's funnier, my dad stories or that time with the girl. So
But see,
Your
The only-
time with the girl. Honestly, if you polish that up, which we've all heard, by the way, it's a great story and it works.
yeah, but the only other way that you'd know that it worked is if you went up there and did it. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
We could be telling you something.
And see, like I wasn't even thinking about it. I just like everybody was telling funny jokes, and you know Zach was here and everything, and
Yeah.
and you know I told the story to Zach, and you know Zach was like, "Hey, everybody, come over here! Like Ernie's got something to say," and you know I honestly didn't think it was that
Okay.
funny, but
I don't remember which Zach. Was it the...
Zach Elizondo
Okay.
and the Hero Prevails.
The hero
Shout
prevails,
out.
yeah.
Shout out, yeah.
Great person, by the way. If
Oh,
you
look
ever-
at that guy. That guy's so awesome.
Very humble individual. Like, and him and his brother.
Oh, man.
They're a badass duo.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah,
freaking
and check
phenomenal.
out The Sweet Life of Zach and Zarek on Facebook, and they have so many. No, they're not a sponsor or anything, but because I love those guys so much,
Yeah, no.
you know, check
Shout
them out.
Yeah.
You know, Zarek is such an amazing person,
Yeah,
and
man.
he has such an amazing personality.
Oh, yeah, they both do.
Yeah, and you know, Zach is a bass player from And the Hero Prevails,
Yeah,
so
That's right.
check him out.
Yeah, man.
But while we wait for Bird, well, let's just dig into the next question, which is why comedy?
Well,
I have a long story, but go for it, Roy.
I mean, it honestly stems from like childhood.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll
being
agree.
the funny kid, being the class clown, making people laugh. It definitely stems from that. You know, because want to close the door? You can close the door.
Hold that thought. Put a pin in it.
Yeah, but just continue talking.
Yeah,
so.
you know, just even like in a class, having a whole class laugh at you, is something that fuels further incidents of trying to make people laugh. And I think that's what formulated into, you know, my appreciation for comedy, because I saw SNL, I saw, you know, all those things, all these movies and stuff where I eventually started to really appreciate what I was presented.
Yeah. No, I agree, man.
Yeah.
You and I were both practically the same age, about a couple months apart, maybe.
Yeah, no,
we grew up with the
too. Yes,
Yeah, we grew up in the same town.
We went to
same
kindergarten.
school.
Me and Joseph went to kindergarten
Same
together.
school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I have photos of me and Joseph as kids in a class photo.
That's great.
Interesting story, by the way. He Charlie horsed me one time, and
I remember that.
well, whatever. Beside the point. But yeah, dude. I grew up with I'm pretty sure there's countless VHS tapes my aunts and uncles have of me quoting old Don Knotts and Bob Hope films, and it started off in the childhood days. You know, my family, my father, my uncle, grandfather, everyone had a sense of humor. We're always quoting movies, and that's how it started for me.
That's actually another way that it happened for me too. Because like my uncles would show me when they would babysit me, just put me in front of the TV with the Three Stooges on,
Oh, nice.
and that was my babysitter. You know, so like me learning what made them laugh.
See, we
would
grew up in that generation where our babysitter was the tube.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
nice.
definitely also would have to say that The Simpsons had a lot to do with the way that my humor is presented today.
Yeah, and see with me, like it's so different because it's like earlier, I was just like, hello, Drew. You know, because like I always try to find the like I guess voices that I can impersonate and just kind of go with them.
Yeah.
Like the voice that I did is the Ken Kenneth from Connecticut by. It was on one of the tracks by Eminem on the Marshall Mathers LP.
Okay, you're digging deep now.
Yeah. Yeah, like when I heard that, I'm just like, I think I could do that. So I was like, hello. And I was like, hell yeah.
For me, the oldest movie I can remember was, which we have on DVD still, but it's old. And we have the VHS too, was the Bob Hope film of him being the son of Paleface. You
Nice.
guys remember
Dude,
that?
that's a good movie.
And that I quoted for years as
Yeah.
a kid growing up. And it was a funny movie. But later to find out that the movie was a little,
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
edge
yeah.
of racism a little bit.
Nowadays, it's a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit-
considered racism, but I don't quote it no more for reasons, obviously.
And I'm back. Have you ever peed for so long that you're like, am I a water fountain?
See, that's how a joke works.
Yeah.
Life experiences.
Yeah.
Speaking of comedy, why comedy? I wasn't pretty enough. That's it. I just wasn't. I had to develop a personality.
Well,
I was also a middle child, so I
Oh.
was starved for the attention.
Dude, I was
you had
the,
the middle child syndrome.
Yeah.
I was
I
the
got it.
youngest child, and I wanted to always keep the attention.
Oh.
I was the firstborn, so I failed at a lot of things, and comedy was the last one.
You're
It was
the
either
first
that. It was either that or realtor. I'm not gonna be a realtor.
Bullies got me
What-
because they would make fun of my eyes. So I was just like, oh yeah, well, I'm crazy eyes, so fuck you.
Yeah,
I know where you live, bitch.
bullies called me a dirty wetback.
Really? Wow.
Look, everyone at this table has had their fair share of bullies growing up as kids.
Yeah, they told me to go back to Mexico just because I spoke Spanish.
See, my approach to bullies was like, what they're looking for is like a reaction.
A reaction, yeah.
So I never gave that to them. So I disabled whatever they try. Like, they would try and fuck with me, but then I'd be like, I'm going to throw myself off a fucking, a roof.
Dude, I was.
And then they would be like, I'm not going to fuck with that guy because he's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Throwing himself off a roof.
I remember freshman year. Remember freshman year? Did you ever get pennies thrown at you?
No.
I had quarters and John F. Kennedy dollars thrown at me.
Honestly, as a
Whoa.
freshman, I was like, nobody knew who I was.
I wasn't
I
insult them in
care.
Spanish. I was like, "Me la pelas, güey."
I was a big nerd, dude. I was a big geek. Like, if I quoted a movie, I was the nerd.
Yeah.
I hung out with like two other dudes, and we only hung out with each other, but our interests were like we liked the same kind of music and we watched the same kind of movies, and that was basically what got me through high school.
There were times where Roy and I would hang out with a lot of his. I would hang out
Actually,
with a lot
yeah.
of his friends.
Eventually,
Yeah.
me and Joseph would start to hang out.
I grew up in the wrong era because I love comic books and I love gay porn.
Because even at the time in high school, comic books weren't widely like nobody really gave
No.
a shit.
Or anime?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
And that's the difference between generations. Back in our day, you were called a lot of heinous names back in the day just for even holding a magazine of like
Uh-huh.
anime. Now you hold a magazine, you're like, oh, dude, what's your favorite part? It's like I don't. You're this generation doesn't understand the verbal cruelty
Struggles.
that we had growing up.
But
Yeah.
I'm glad we're at a point where people like comic books.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because people always talk shit to me like, "Oh, stop watching wrestling because it's fake." I'm just like, yeah, but you didn't see fucking.
It's entertaining.
You didn't see The Rock freaking Stone Cold stun Steve Austin. He used his own finisher move, like he used Stone Cold Stunner, and I was just like, fuck you. And now, like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm watching wrestling. Fuck you. Like, I don't watch that shit anymore. So, like, maybe I should pick on you, but no.
There's phases
Yeah.
for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What should we make fun of now?
Furries?
No,
Oh,
they're
no.
awesome.
Uh,
Have you ever dressed up like one?
no.
No.
It's so warm around the winter.
But did any of your family members or friends ever talk to you out of not getting on stage and not doing comedy
Yeah,
as a
right.
career?
Oh yeah.
Now we're hitting the real
I
hard.
have an interesting story.
Sure, go first, Roy.
I did comedy like 3 times. My first show, official or whatever, was like the following Easter or whatever. And I had an uncle who was all grumpy at Easter. He's going to everybody, kind of like secretly talking shit about me. And eventually, my sister comes up to me. She's like, "What did you do to him?" I'm like, what? I just got here. What do you mean? I don't know. What's going on? And she's like, he's going around telling everybody how you shouldn't be doing comedy because you're just going to make fun of the family. And I'm like, I hadn't even thought of it, but that's a good idea. I'm going to write some jokes about the fucking family.
For my family, it was, well, I come from a hard line of working, relatives, and my father has always been a, backbreak worker, and the question always is, mijo, is it gonna fucking pay you on the long run? And I'm like, yeah, long run, pops.
In the long run, yes.
And which I did do private shows, within my first year.
And
You
you get paid
witnessed
more
this,
and more,
and Bert
right?
witnessed it. Yeah, I was getting paid decent money.
You are. Good stuff.
Yeah, and well, it's because I'm animated. Even though I'm a little chubby, I was animated, dude.
People love chubby.
I still
eventually built up to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You think like people don't love you because you're chubby, but it's quite the opposite. That's the reason why we love you.
I'm a chubby chaser, bro. I'm gonna catch you.
We're 2020. Whatever you thought was in the 90s is opposite world now.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
weird,
it
right?
really
It's
is.
like
and it's weird to break that bubble.
Yeah. You get stuck on like, oh man, nobody fucking likes me. People like you.
Look,
you
I'm
weird
gonna
fuck.
tell you right now. I was always self-conscious. Like, man, dude, if I even open my mouth, I'm pretty sure no one's gonna be like, I don't want to be friends with that fat fuck.
Yeah.
And maybe, but fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're your friends, so who gives a fuck?
And for me, when my mom was alive, rest her soul, I was like, Mom, I wanted to be a comedian. It's like, that's what I paid for you to go to college for? just let me do my thing.
You have fun,
My
mom.
friends tell me I'm funny.
But the thing down here is like, not a lot of people do comedy, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
literally like the Wild West.
Oh,
If
yeah.
somebody wanted to start up and just start doing something, they literally could. They just
And unfortunately, when you do that, you do have rivals.
you do.
And sadly, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, dude.
You can
Like,
twist. It's a twist.
It's a twist.
Come on, baby.
Just do.
We're here drinking some
Seagrams?
Seagrams.
This
is
Okay.
the first Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, first time
I'm
too.
drinking
Yeah, it
blue.
tastes like a Jolly.
It hurts my teeth.
Mine is the
It's so sweet.
nice one. It's really
I
nice.
haven't tested mine. Let's see what the verdict is.
They took the green ones and the blue ones. I got the pink ones. So.
Oh, special.
It tastes like a Mexican boli.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It feels like you shouldn't have it.
And to get back to the Music and Beyond program.
Nice.
Well, yeah, music. All right, I like to recommend the Wiggles. Dude, they're fucking bomb, bro. Makes you want to dance.
He's just speaking from experience.
Pick up so many moms to that
what,
shit.
what is your best, worst bombing story?
Oh, all right.
We have to pick the worst now.
Okay.
All right.
Memorable one at least. Go, Roy.
My first time ever going up, I had a pretty good intro joke. It was all right, and then in the middle, I forgot like my punchline or where I was going, so I stumble a little bit. But the premise was about like a psycho ex-girlfriend, and then I don't know. I think I just hit the wrong note with somebody in the audience, and he looks over and he's with the girlfriend, and she doesn't look very happy because I'm talking about crazy girls. So I assume she's crazy. And then the guy's like, hey, fuck that guy.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh man, let me get to my punchline before you tell me to go fuck myself. Like, let me just suck first and then tell me to go fuck myself. But that was the first time. And then I've had an incident too with like another comedian where I asked him like, hey man, so, I probably didn't do so hot, so how can I improve? And he looks at me dead in the eye and he's like, just get better.
Oh no.
Like, that's not constructive at all. All right, whatever.
My worst bomb story is that my mom had died.
Oh, I remember this.
I remember this one.
And I told Bert, hey, Bert, we got a show for you.
Yeah, it's like, what will make you feel better? Doing comedy.
And that's an actual quote from Roy.
Yeah, and I wasn't ready, bro. Like, my mom had just died. My ex-girlfriend had just broken up with me because I wasn't doing better at being a person. And I understand her, like, yes.
Issues, right? Yeah.
Issues. I had issues. I was a cheater. But yeah, whatever.
Those are issues.
Those are the issues. And so I had to follow. I opened up for Rudy Barba and fucking Mario and.
You're the host.
Yeah, I was a host.
Oh god.
And
This was your first time
it was
hosting.
my first time hosting. It was in San Mateo San Bar. I wasn't doing comedy. I was just literally just crying on stage.
No.
He was.
I was
and-
crying on stage, and it was like, "These guys make me fucking depressed." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" I'm crying there, and then I said and then my girlfriend broke up with me because I cheated. And I was like, "You good?" Yeah. And I was like, "I'm gonna leave it on that." You guys,
Believe it or
clap.
not, that actual was legitimate banter from somebody in the crowd.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember Mario looking over at me. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I was outside having a cigarette, and because I could still hear him from outside because they have the speakers outside. And Rudy comes out of nowhere, and he's like, "Dude, what the fuck's wrong with him?" He's
Well,
like,
okay. Now, mind you, before this, Humberto was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Like he was on a pretty good hot streak. You know, he was at a point where he was like sharpening it up pretty good, and Mario entrusted him enough to have him host because he's like, that's what he can do. You know, he can talk to people. He gets people, you know, going. But it was just bad timing because his mom just died.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And the girlfriend left me.
yeah, there were plenty of reasons why that show didn't go good.
And I wasn't feeling it. But even I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need this.
You even sang "Gangster's Paradise" at one point.
Yes, you
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I don't-
Oh, "Gangster's Paradise." Everybody was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
I was so bad. And that was my worst bomb story. Like, I was not ready. And if you're listening out there and if you want to become a comedian, if you feel a gut instinct that you're not ready, do it, Wade.
What better way to break the ice, you know?
It's gonna be great on the podcast later. Fucking
Dude, my worst story was second and a half year out. I got invited to do a private show, and this was big pay. And it was big pay. I'm not naming the comedian that worked really hard to get me on the stage. And mind you, the stage wasn't even a stage.
name the comedian.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting him into the ring.
Dude, it's fine.
Pun intended.
No one's listening to
The
this.
stage
anyways.
literally was a ring.
He's right.
It was a ring. It was a private boxing joint there in McAllen or Edinburgh
Okay.
area.
You've already given enough detail for.
What day was it?
Jesse Lopez.
Sorry guys, I'm just listening.
No, what happened, I was told beforehand, just be you, do what you gotta do, you know, do it. But what I didn't know was that this guy wanted the whole storytelling part of myself, where I would beatbox and do, very animated. I did my original material minus the beatbox. That's a different material. It's a different set, for a crowd if I feel like the crowd's gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I didn't know that there were going to be professional boxers in this setting. So I made a joke or two that were related to boxing, about cauliflower ears and all that, and these dudes weren't having it. And I didn't know, because it was, long story short, nobody came up afterwards to give me handshakes or anything.
Hand job.
Yeah.
So
All I got was a pat in the back. You did pretty good. That was
you're alive.
Oh, you got a pat in the back? Look
Yeah.
at you.
I got spit on.
good. Food was
I
good.
get dirty looks.
Dirty.
No, there were dirty looks too.
Oh.
Like, this dude's bombing. Somebody please get him out. Rudy killed it. Rudy killed, I know. That whole Nutella jokes and shit. And by the way, Rudy, that's good shit, man.
He's not here.
But
You know who is here? Jesse fucking Lopez.
Jesse fucking Lopez. The only podcast worth listening
The only part, Jesse Lopez, 15 minutes. You've just been taken over by the 15 Lopez. 15 Lopez did the. I'm wasted. I'm sorry.
we're keeping all of this in here, by the way.
All right. No editing.
So much.
No, I totally support the what is it? Three listeners not suitable for
The 3 listeners. listeners. Thank you, listeners.
God, you're pulling on Mr. Hall.
But to bring this back up, what is the most memorable moment in your comedy career?
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
To bring it back up.
mine also revolves around Jeff Ross.
Dude.
Jeff Ross. Okay, so he was doing a surprise show at Cena El Rey, and he wasn't on the bill.
Not Cena Ray.
It was Cena El Rey first. No,
Okay.
second. But this is my story.
Okay, go.
So we're at Cena El Rey, and I barely get there. Mario motions over to me. He's like, "Hey, go get me 84 tacos next door." And I'm like, "Dude, I just got here, and you're gonna ask me to go eat some food? You know what I mean? Like, let me say hi to everybody." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." So I go next door and waiting for the tacos. He gives it to me. They were already paid for and everything. So I come back and I'm like, "Here are your tacos, dude." And he's like, "Hey, man, they're actually for Jeff Ross and his crew. So if you want, go backstage and drop them off, and you can just hang out." I was like, "What the fuck? All right." So I take the tacos, I go to the back, and they're Jeff Ross's. He's strumming the guitar, and he has like a bodyguard who's a big old dude, and he has a gun on him and shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and he's like, "What are you doing back here?" I'm like, "I'm just here to drop off food." And he's like, all right, come on." So Jeff Ross is there strumming the guitar, and he's like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" I'm like, "It's pretty good, like, my name's Roy." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Jeff." And then he had he wanted to try a joke out of me. And he's like, let me try something out. He's like, "Guess where I got this guitar from?" I'm like, "Where'd you get it from?" He's like, "Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam gave me this guitar." I'm like, "Holy hell." He's like, "Yeah. Guess what Eddie Vedder and this guitar have in common?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "They both make beautiful music, and they're both full of drugs."
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was like, "Holy hell, that's fucking awesome." And then afterwards, we all went into the back, and I smoked out with Jeff Ross. I busted out a joint, and there were several going already, so I got to smoke with Jeff Ross backstage. Yeah, so that was like the coolest thing ever, because he was so down to earth, very approachable, but I was too nervous to want to ask him a ton of questions,
Because that guy had that gun.
That too, yeah. But he was so nice, We eventually saw the show in Brownsville, and the dude's a class act all around, because he stuck around and signed autographs for everybody who wanted autographs. I don't know, it was awesome, and that was the best experience I've ever had, because I got to see behind the scenes. I got to go behind where they were doing the shots and how they had the whole camera set up, and then I got to see him do his show several times, and then meet him personally one time and fucking smoke out with him and shit.
Roy got lucky. He got to see him behind the stage. We got to see him Cena night, and then also at the preliminary battle.
Oh, that's right.
That
Yes.
roast
Yeah.
that we had at
It was
bar in Westago.
So what's the question again?
It was what's the best moment in your comedy career?
Okay, so to piggyback off Roy's thing, it also involves Jeff Ross. I was just a newbie, right? And they had just dropped that we had to compete. Whoever won got to open up for Jeff Ross.
Yeah,
And we went to this bar in Westaco.
and it was a roast battle.
It was
Yeah.
a roast battle, but they didn't really have good rules. They're
Yeah.
like, if you win the roast battle, you have to do 5 minutes to stand up, and after that, the audience decides whatever. It was bad. It should have just been a roast battle.
Yeah.
If it was just a roast battle, I would have definitely won. So I competed first, which I'm a newcomer. I've only been doing comedy at this point for maybe
2 years. It was
2 years.
yeah.
And my first opponent was Rick Cano. And Rick Cano is fucking awesome.
He's very
He is,
seasoned.
yeah.
He's a seasoned comedian.
He's a
Back
great
in the day,
comedian.
He won, I think.
But when I competed against him in the roast battle, I fucking annihilated him.
No.
Because I made up some fucking jokes about what do Donald Trump and Rick Cano's penis have in common. And then I said,
Then you
Dig
said,
The hamster's spinning.
Dig deep.
it's coming.
they're both brown and they don't work. And so I won that roast battle, right? And after that, I had to compete against Sonia Trevino.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And she's tough already.
And she's
Yeah,
tough
good.
already.
Yeah.
So then she went first, and it was all strategic. It was all strategic. It's like, you know what? Whoever goes to the second part and fucking nails it wins.
Yeah.
So Sonya went first, and she's like, well, I wasn't expecting to go to this round. And then she made fun of me. It's like, I'm sorry I made fun of you. And I'm like, all right. So then I go up next. And I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? And like, on top of my head, I just think of some fucking randomized joke. And it was like, Sonia Trevino nicknamed her pussy the Rio Grande.
Oh no.
Because only desperate Mexicans have crossed it.
That's actually pretty good.
And it was so good that for the first time, and even Mario Salazar said it, for the first time in that particular bar, people roared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
laughing.
mind you, a lot of people knew that he was coming. That bar was full to the brim.
Yeah. To top it off, go.
The best part about all that was that he himself, Jeff Ross, was recording my set.
Oh shit.
Yeah, right? That's such a compliment.
And he posted it on his social media.
Oh wow.
While this is going on in the background, I believe at this point he was also interviewing a lot of like a documentary
Yeah.
on the separate bar, which
That's true.
yeah, we did witness a
Well,
lot
no,
of.
that was, and then at the Brownsville taping, me and Joseph got interviewed.
Oh yeah, we got there a little early.
Yeah, me and Joseph got interviewed, but Joseph was the only one of the two of us that got played on Comedy Central.
Oh, you guys were on Comedy Central?
Well, I was.
Joseph,
Oh,
we come out, but it's like split seconds.
Yeah.
You know, you
I
blink
had
and
like
miss us.
35, 40 seconds.
Yeah, dude, they talked to him and he came out on Jeff Ross's special. He had more time than Mario Salazar did.
Oh no.
That's because Mario opened up for Jeff.
Yeah, he did.
And the only thing that they cut into the show was Mario saying like, "All right, everybody, Jeff Ross," and him running off stage. And that was all he got.
And I heard that for days.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, you got more time on the air. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Mario. But, dude, it's true. I mean, the question that they asked me was, I forgot, but, yeah, no, dude.
It was something about immigrants.
Yeah.
Because they asked me the same question.
Because I knew a lot of artists, and I knew artists that were also here illegally. And
Oh, it was about the border wall.
Yeah, and I remember saying something along the lines of, like, you never know if that random pickup's going to happen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And this is true because a lot of friends of mine would always be like, oh, man, they're hammering down on the border. They're hammering down on these people with expired green cards and all this. And I'm like, you're an artist. What do you got to worry about? You know, you're living the dream. You're here in this country doing what you do, and you're doing it the way you love, you know?
True. But yeah, he got. It was weird how it took Jeff Ross to kind of get us together to do something, you know, because that's where it basically stemmed from. After that, we started collaborating a little more. We had the idea of like, all right, let's start a show. So then we started our own podcast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, which is the Not Suitable for Listeners podcast.
that's right.
Yeah.
We just recently topped. Fuck. We just topped off season 2.
Yeah.
So we released episode 1 of season
Season
3
3, yeah.
just today, and you know you can catch that everywhere: iTunes, Spotify. We
iHeartRadio.
also had the opportunity to interview Anthony Michael Hall.
Now, season 2, yeah.
Yeah, Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast
Yeah,
Club, yeah.
all those other fucking movies. I'm spaced right now.
Weird Science, Breakfast Club, Vacation.
Yeah, and he's coming out with a movie,
Yeah,
Halloween Kills.
go check that out.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
And see, when I met you guys, and you guys told me like, "Hey, I have a podcast," I'm like, "All right, cool. Like, I guess I'll listen to it." But and then when I started to get to know you guys, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go listen to all these episodes. And you know, I think I started a group with all 3 of y'all.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm done.
And our whole idea for taking people under the Recalled Productions page was just to really help people start. You
Yeah.
know, like at any point when you've gotten your wings and you're ready to fly the nest, by all means, we're always going to be buddies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're glad to help you start somewhere.
Yeah, like me, it's kind of more like I'm already established.
Yeah.
but I just kind of need to get a little bit more advice on how to do things.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, I'm Recall Productions for life now.
Nice. We're gonna get it tattooed on the back of your head.
We're
Nah,
all gonna
there's
be
a-
like troopers from Starship Troopers. Let's get ink together.
And we're not talking about your actual head.
Oh, I was like, what the heck? I already have a scar back there.
No, we're talking about your penis.
It's up until now, man. It's been a great experience. You know, there's a lot of. We learned a lot, honestly. Yeah. And honestly, there have been shows where I know Roy's had some bad feedback, and so has Bert. But I had some really bad feedback with some jokes as well. And that's why we retire those jokes. You know, I don't say that one particular joke anymore. Because, well, I don't want to go there.
Well, see, that's the thing. Is there something that you won't joke about?
Is that your next question?
That's the next question.
Oh, shit. Now we gotta talk about it. Oh, man. Roy, you want to go first? Because I don't want to go first.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a touchy spot or anything, you know. Like, there's nothing that I have found to be so offensive that I won't talk about it. I mean, there are things that are offensive that I won't talk about just because I don't really care to. You know, it's really all preference. But there was one time where I had a joke about a midget and people got offended for
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
for midgets, even though there were no midgets there.
And a lot of hipsters started yelling at you. No.
Yeah,
They're
don't
called
say
little people.
Yeah, call them
Don't
little
call
people.
them midgets or dwarves.
And you know, whatever. I was like, all right.
And I'm like, that table's rowdy. Someone stop serving them drinks.
And we lost Bert here for a second, so.
Oh no, he's still here
Well, yeah, he's here, but.
in spirit.
Yeah, in spirit.
For me, dude, honestly, there were one or two experiences where. Now, I'm a big guy, right?
Yeah.
And this was 3 years in. We're doing a show. No, it was an open mic, right?
Yeah.
You know where they do poetry slam and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was doing my fat jokes, my material. Now, they were great. Crowd was laughing. Others weren't. They weren't having it. A group of individuals come up to me afterwards, and they're like giving me this whole spiel about body shaming. And I'm like, you do realize I was talking about myself, right? And they're telling me you don't have to body shame yourself just to be accepted by society. And I'm like, you do know this is an open mic, right? None of this is really, serious. This is just material I'm working out, right? We're all working out material. But they kept going for like 45 minutes, and I'm sitting there with my beer. They're interrupting my calm, chill vibes with this whole banter of don't shame yourself. You're a beautiful person, which I am. We're all beautiful individuals. But I didn't think, it was necessary for them to, throw a book at me.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure they thought was a good move, but, it was material about me. I was making fun of me. I wasn't making fun of anyone else, But that's just one experience of the many experiences that we've had. I'm pretty sure Bert's got a few of his own that he'd probably like to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know where the nun started smacking me with like a fucking ruler.
You remember that one time you had a joke about the white Power Ranger?
Oh, God.
Oh my god. Yes, Roy.
Where to
So,
begin?
There it was. March 44th, 2021. Right? I don't know. We're doing regular stand-up comedy. I had to end it with like a bang. And so all I said was, White Power Ranger was my favorite growing up as a kid.
Oh, no.
But the guy at the bar, all he heard was the white power.
Yeah.
What I didn't know at the time, like I thought they a great show. I'm walking out and I'm like shaking hands for everybody because we used to do that back in the day. And this guy, like he looked like a discount Danny Trejo. Like just very cracked out. I thought he was a fan and he was very upset. Turns out he was
wasn't
like
having it, dude.
turns out he was like a Green Beret or
He
something.
was a retired veteran, yeah.
Yeah, he was retired something, and like he killed Nazis back wherever in Vietnam. I don't know if there was Nazis back there, but he killed them. And he was upset that I said White Power, but he didn't hear Power Ranger. And so I'm like stoned and drunk and everything. So I'm like just goofing with him. He was not. He was willing
This
to like.
gentleman was literally going to stab him.
Yeah, he was gonna kick my
It's
ass.
pretty aggressive.
Damn.
And he was very like.
And his wife was trying to calm him down.
He was very mean to me, and I was like, well, I don't know what's going on. But then Bernie was there, so I'm like, I'm confident that whatever happens, our bartender Bernie was just gonna take care of it. So I became more of an asshole.
Shout out to Bernie.
Yeah. Big Dick B.
So yeah, it didn't end okay that night.
And lastly,
Okay.
if you were stuck in an elevator with any comedian, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
Oh, man.
Oh, man, you had to go there, huh?
Well, I don't know what I would talk about, but it probably would be like Rodney Dangerfield or Red Fox. Yeah, if I could and just like, all right, for some reason here you guys are, I'd be like, let's have a threesome.
No respect.
I would
We're all gonna get flayed.
I would love to talk to Chris Farley.
Oh,
Took the
man.
words right out of my mouth, you SOB.
Fine, I'll go somewhere. And Ellen. She's not dead. I don't know. She's there
Isn't
too.
she? I don't
Fine,
know.
I'll go
Her
with
career is.
I'll go with my
Roseanne?
Roseanne. Oh, I
Oops.
love Roseanne. I'd fuck Roseanne.
You fuck her, Sam.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Back then or now?
Still. Yeah.
Both.
Now, then, whatever.
You know, just Chris Farley, man. If I could just talk to him and ask him, like, what would have been your next career? Like, what did you want to do after this? I don't know. Just to see what tip points. Because I identified, believe it or not, I was a big kid growing up. And I just, didn't feel confident in my own skin. And when I would see Chris Farley be himself and be chubby and funny, I was like, I can do that. I could be what he does, because he's fucking lovable.
He
He's a
gave us
chubby guy.
he gave us a platform that
Yeah.
no matter what size you are, you still are a very funny individual.
Yeah.
And there's some movies where he's like in there for 15 seconds, but he steals the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty work.
Yeah.
And he had supermodel girlfriends.
Yeah.
Supermodel. Like they were just below him, and he didn't care. And he still, just like every comedian who's suppressed, an impression gets him eventually. Got to him. You got your greats. You got Robin Williams. You got your Chris Farleys. You got your Joseph Sotos.
Thank you for the memoriam.
Comes in three people.
And where can we find you guys?
You can find us on Facebook at Recall Productions or at the Not Suitable for Listeners podcast page. And on iTunes, Spotify, Podcast Addict, iTunes. I said that already. TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio. Am I missing anything? YouTube sometimes.
I guess I'm dead. I'm not answering that question, I guess.
Social medias, where can we
Yeah.
follow you guys?
Roy A. Gomez Comedy at ROYGOME. I fucked that. Roy A. Gomez Comedy.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. It's good enough.
Umberto Comedy at Instagram and I think maybe Twitter. And Umberto Moreno at the Facebook.
Well, to answer the question, I would, in the elevator, you can find me at Joseph Silva Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter, it's going to be CMDY. Yeah, that's it.
And for the folks, let's get a classic
Goodbye?
goodbye.
Whoa, we've never done that.
Are we
Nobody else has-
hijacking
Yeah.
the podcast?
You
All
guys
right.
are hijacking the
Are you
podcast.
going to join us? You should lead us.
You have to pay for our OnlyFans.
Goodbye.
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 And remember that without music, life would be a mistake.